I recently went to Ghana to report on how 3 American-born faiths, Mormonism, Seventh-day Adventism, and Jehovah's Witnesses, are competing for souls. All 3 churches claim to be a more authentic brand of Christianity, stripped of centuries of accumulated traditions. Each group believes itself to be the only true church. Why then would Africans join one of these 3 faiths instead of another? Jehovah's Witnesses, who have more than 100,000 members in Ghana, base everything on the Bible, they tell me. No politics, no rituals, no liturgy, no holidays, no Trinity, no paid clergy, no blood transfusions based on biblical statements about avoiding blood, just moral living and the command to spread the good news. Perhaps the most distinctive element is their house-to-house evangelizing.
They walk in twos and in threes with their Bibles and their bags, and they go house to house. Yes, and they don't mind when they enter your house, whatever you are doing, they don't mind to sit down and talk about their church.
This message that you are hearing today will set you free, or it will stand against you on the day of judgment.
Next, I went to a Seventh-day Adventist nightly crusade, where their distinctive teaching about the Sabbath attracted many Ghanaians, especially those whose traditions taught that God was born on Saturday.
God gave us the Sabbath so that we can also always remember Him.
They find their way to the Adventists either through such crusades, television evangelism, or through family members, and then are baptized by immersion, even in muddy rivers. With nearly 400,000 members, they have been in Ghana the longest, 126 years, and have built many schools and hospitals. Then there were the Mormons. They were the last to arrive in Ghana, not coming until 1978, and have the fewest members, just over 57,000. Their missionaries go out in pairs to share their faith with any who will listen. Some Ghanaians like Mormonism for its emphasis on eternal families and genealogy, for its founding first vision story or unique scripture, the Book of Mormon, for its clean living and strong community.
And that is really been the emphasis in the upbringing of Ghanaians, for instance, that you ought to know your God, you ought to be of good behavior, you ought to love your neighbor. Those specific teachings are there already. So when you become a Latter-day Saint, it's like building on.
These 3 groups are strict, hierarchical, and orderly. They emphasize disciplined living and community building, each in its own way. And they are all attracting a growing following of unique believers.